This is a smartphone screen protector that is designed for the iPhone 15 Pro that supposedly turns your iPhone into a glasses-free 3D smartphone. Now, I have my iPhone 15 Pro right here. I've already removed my original screen protector and applied this new one, which is supposed to turn it into a 3D display. And we're going to find out right now whether or not it actually works. It had me download this app which wants me to calibrate the screen so that this film actually starts functioning as a 3D display. And in order to make that work, you have to calibrate it using this mirror contraption that came packaged with the instruction manual and other things in the box. So let's set it up and run the calibration. I've clicked to start the calibration. Now I'm supposed to set it right below this mirror thing. It says to position it just like this without too much lighting, and supposedly it's going to work some magic here. Let's start the calibration. Okay, this is really trippy already. Like, I can't even tell what's going on. You can tell that something is different about this protection film just by what's happening on the screen. But it's running through some sort of process to get this thing, supposedly get this thing calibrated. Before this started happening, I could not tell that there was anything different about this screen protector. It looked literally exactly the same as any other screen protector I've ever used. No difference in brightness or anything. It says calibration successful. I'm skeptical but excited at the same time to find out if this is actually going to be glasses-free 3D. It really sounds too good to be true. So I'm going to open up the app that works with this, which is 3D Fan. Here we go. I'm going to test out this one in the middle and we'll see how this actually works. And probably better in... No way. Like, this is actually in 3D. I mean, and it's got head tracking. I can see here it's showing how far it's actually detecting my head position, and these things are flying right out of the screen. I don't know how this is even possible, but it seems that this has got crazy pop out. This is literally working as a 3D display, and I can't even believe it. Like, this is my iPhone, and I don't know about this video, but it's got depth and it's got crazy pop out. Like, when these darts fly at you, it's popping out literally like this far off the screen, just inches off the display without crosstalk. So this has a bunch of different like little clips from movies and things, I think, that they just have to test out the 3D effect. Let me just randomly pick one and try it out. This is like too good to be true. I'm watching a clip from a movie in 3D on my smartphone, which wasn't a 3D smartphone to begin with, just with this protection screen. And it's using my iPhone front-facing camera to do head tracking. The resolution here is crisp. The pop-out is incredible. The detail is incredible. The resolution is top tier. I'm not even sure if the pixelation is any less than the actual iPhone itself. Maybe slightly, but it's more like there's something to do with the way this protection film is structured, where it's got some pattern or something built into it that it allows the light to be directed in specific ways just based on what the software is doing to the way it's displaying something with the original screen. Like, this is crazy technology. Can't believe that it's actually working, and the resolution just literally just blew my mind. Like, this has subverted all expectations that I had for it. Just after watching a couple of minutes of this, now we need to try a bunch of different stuff on this. Like, what if I take a video of stuff around me right now and then try to view it in 3D using the iPhone's built-in 3D camera? Let's do that really quick. I'm gonna go to this video in spatial filming mode of this 3D tablet right here and see how this turns out. Now I can go right to Spatialify, this app, and then export it as a side-by-side video. Full side-by-side. It's exporting it right now. I'll just save that, go right back to this app we were just using, go to my album and download it, just give it access to my library. So I just went in and downloaded that video that we took, along with a bunch of other stuff that I used on these other devices in my other videos, just because I have a bunch of side-by-side things that I like to use for reference. So we can take a look at all of these and see how they compare to like the other devices on this. Starting with the video I just took. When I pull it up, it just shows it side by side, so I have to go into settings here and then go to side-by-side mode. And now it's displaying it, but it's very narrow, so let's make it more normal. This is like the craziest thing. It's actually working. This video that I just took, it took me just maybe 30 seconds to get it converted and then brought over to this app. And I'm viewing it in 3D on my iPhone. And I can hold this like this far back. I can see this crystal clear at this distance. This is like 3-4 feet away from me. And it's in beautiful 3D. if I hold it up close, it's telling me the distance here actually as it's tracking my head, 334 millimeters. So that's about 33 centimeters. Anywhere within this range feels like the perfect distance. But this is just crazy that this video that I took on my iPhone can be viewed even if I tip it vertically. The resolution here, this is crisp. This is one of the most remarkable things that I've ever seen. Definitely the most surprising, most unexpected. And you know what? Okay, this photo right here that's displaying in 3D, this is one of my favorite things about this tablet, is that it displays 3D in portrait orientation, in vertical orientation. I want to test out these same photos on this and see if they look anywhere near as good, because this is just gorgeous. Let's take a look at it in 3D. I gotta change it from side by side again back to from 2D to side by side mode, and then full screen. It's possible that this thing has even higher resolution. Okay, so you can turn head tracking off, and I don't know if you can see this right now, but this resolution is just fine. I literally feel like my iPhone is now a 3D phone. It is. This is now officially a glasses-free 3D iPhone. This is what I wanted. For me, I've been waiting so long for the chance to have like different devices in glasses-free 3D, and the more that release, the more I'm able to get and review and show you guys. This is what I've been waiting for, like a 3D phone. And I never expected to get one before a actual glasses-free 3D smartphone was released. I just turned my iPhone into one. And I think anybody can do this. That's the coolest thing. Like, these images that I created with Adobe Firefly and converted into 3D using Leapix Converter turn out so cool with incredible pop out. On some of the devices they have some like crosstalk, but this thing, near zero crosstalk. Can you see that? You should be able to tell even without viewing it in 3D. What I'm going to do is take a bunch of photos of this just to prove it and post it on my Leapix account. If you own a LumePad 2, if you own a 3D tablet with Leapix, you can view it directly in 3D, and then I'll also just put some side-by-side photos in this video so you can take screenshots and view those in 3D. But yeah, I don't know what else to say other than the product or device I was least expecting to be won over by, and this might be my favorite of them all. And this is so smooth, just you can go back and forth between portrait and horizontal just with the flip of a phone like you would with anything. Like, adjust it so that it's different aspect ratios, like the original or just fit to screen. I feel like I'm saying this every time I get a new 3D device, but this is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. It's incredible, and I wish you all could see it directly. The level of pop out on this is unreal. Like, look at that. Inches off the display, and it looks just beautiful. It's great because you can adjust the brightness just by swiping up and down. And there appears to be a setting here called like 3D enhancement mode, and if I turn that off, it's still in 3D. And did you see how much of a brightness increase there is there? That pretty much doubled the brightness in 3D mode. There's a little bit more crosstalk visible. There's like no crosstalk in the other mode. With this one there's a little bit, but what you get is this native level brightness from the iPhone 15 Pro, which is very bright in 3D. Well, let's take a look at some photos that I actually took on the iPhone 15 Pro and the NubiaPad 3D. This is really impressive, and because right now it's just showing the photo kind of in the original size that the iPhone 15 Pro took it in 3D, and if I go full screen, it'll actually take that whole thing and give me a full screen version of the 3D photo I took. This one is the same photo I took as a comparison on my 3D tablet, the LumePad 2, and this, you can tell now, I'm convinced LumePad 2 camera is the way to go. Like, nothing beats. This is insane visual fidelity for 3D. Best I've ever seen. No device with a 3D display beats this camera. The camera on the LumePad 2. And I'm shocked that it looks so good on this iPhone. I am viewing some of my favorite photos in incredible 3D resolution on my iPhone. It's capturing my dog's whiskers in 3D on this size display. Even if I turn it this way, it still is crisp and it pops in 3D. Detail is just insane. It's hard to even pick out flaws with this. Like, when I have it vertically, I'm gonna have to play around with this and do a more in-depth review. There's a lot to this, and I'm having trouble finding any flaws at all, actually. In this orientation, I can see like some slight graininess or some sort of pattern if I really look for it. The 3D is still there, and the resolution is very high, despite this being this tiny little image. This right here proves anyone who ever said that 3D on a smartphone is pointless because it's too small, dead wrong. This is much more immersive than 2D on a smartphone. And this image is like less than 2 inches wide, but it's in high resolution 3D, and it's insane. It looks so good. The level of detail, this is a picture captured in 3D of my 3D laptop, and I can see the 3D pop out, like coming out into the air in this tiny version of the photo. And if we turn it sideways, you can really see it. Just scroll through all these. Here's another one taken on this phone in 3D. And again, you can tap here and make it fill the full screen in 3D. This tiny little protection film single-handedly turned my smartphone into like the highest resolution 3D mobile device that I own. I don't know if there's a way to even directly compare the resolution of this thing. I'm not sure that it technically has like a pixel count on this film the way these other devices do. I think it's somehow kind of more matching the native resolution of the iPhone 15 Pro, displaying that to you in 3D and having a little bit of some sort of pattern built into the display that looks like it's a type of pixelation. Maybe there is a limit to the extent of resolution that is a little bit less than the iPhone itself, but it doesn't feel that way. If you try this and you were ever skeptical about 3D, I don't think you're going to be able to go back to 2D because it's too good. It was super easy to download photos off of Google Drive. As soon as you give this app access to your album or select photos from your album, they instantly appear within this app because they're already stored somewhere else on your phone. So this app doesn't take any time to load them. They instantly load, and then you have access to whichever ones you designate, and you can view them seamlessly in 3D. It's like a dream come true. I mean, this is something I've been thinking about a lot the past couple of years. Like, is Apple ever going to make a 3D display for any of their products? And then the big if there. I've always felt like it's either going to take them a very long time or they may never even do it. But with this thing, now I don't need them to, because this is some of the best 3D I've ever seen. The 3D depth and the pop out is just perfect. Like literally perfect. If you're watching this video and you're thinking this seems as cool as I think it is, and you wish you could experience it for yourself, first of all, like and subscribe to this video because this is exactly the type of content that I focus on my channel. So if you like this video, chances are you're going to like pretty much all of the content that I'm bringing to this channel. And secondly, if you're interested in this, it's actually not available yet around the world. I reached out to this company, a company based in Shenzhen called Tong, and they were kind enough to ship me one so that I could try it out, and it's not yet sold outside of China. However, having experienced it now, this is something that I think first of all is more affordable than any other type of 3D device or anything that I've introduced on my channel so far. You just need the film. I would like to make this available to all of you if you're interested. So if you place an order for me, I'll put the price down in the description, in the comments. I will make sure that you have one shipped to you and you'll be able to experience this too. Because based on what I've experienced so far, it feels like owning a 3D smartphone. I mean, it really essentially is the same thing. I can't tell that it's not when I'm looking at it. I tested it out wearing my reading glasses and the 3D effect works perfectly fine. So whether you have contact lenses or glasses, it's not going to matter. You could turn hand tracking off and view anything you want in the dark. As long as you have side-by-side footage or a video file, you can bring it over to your phone and then view anything you want in 3D. I think I'm going to be spending the next month just messing around with this and enjoying all sorts of stuff on this phone. You don't even need Wi-Fi to do what I just did with this phone. Like take a video in 3D on the 3D camera with this, use Spatialify to turn that spatial video into a side-by-side format video, and then just use the app 3D Fan to select that from my album and view it in 3D. No need to have Wi-Fi, which means I could be out on the street or downtown without access to any Wi-Fi, without using my data, and take photos or videos and then view them nearly instantly in 3D and then show it to other people. And because it has head tracking, that means it's going to be easier for people who aren't used to seeing 3D stuff to view this. You can just point the phone at them and show them something in 3D, and it'll track their head position and display to them in 3D just the way I was seeing it just now. So I guess I should say this is the thing that I never knew that I always wanted. I always wanted a 3D smartphone, and this is not technically that, but it functions as the exact same thing. I really don't notice anything different about this display. Can literally not tell that there is any difference from the original screen protector that I had on this phone. The quality is just as good. The 2D quality of this image is not degraded whatsoever. And you go and open up this app and you've got yourself a fully functioning 3D smartphone. Yeah, I seriously think the resolution of this is higher than anything that we've looked at so far, with the exception of the laptops, which are around $3,000+ to purchase. Totally worth it because the 3D is mind-blowing. the selection of games, everything you can do on those is unbelievable. But this, no question, cheaper than anything else you could purchase. So what I am going to try to do is make it available. I'll just put it in the comments and I can get this shipped to you, whatever country you're in. I think I'm going to get one of these for my entire family and finally have an affordable way to have everybody that I want to exchange photos with have a smartphone or a device in 3D. And the fact that it's a smartphone, like I keep saying, like a dream come true. This is literal technical magic at its finest. As I'm using this, I even remember, I think I heard about this product a couple years back. The reviews and the comments I was seeing were not that positive. People saying the 3D effect is just so-so, resolution not great. I kind of dismissed it as just being an attempt to do something that emulates a 3D display, but a failure. I have mad respect for this company for sticking it out and developing this thing over time to get it to this point. That is a commendable feat. If you had told me that that was the case without me actually seeing it, I don't think I would have believed it. Apparently there are more apps and things that you can use with this. I think I've only scratched the surface in this initial video on what this can do, but I hope it gives you an idea of how impressed I am with this technology. I think I'm going to finish this video here. Not sure what else I need to say this time. I think I'll make a follow-up video, put it through some more testing, but in the meantime, I think it's safe to say if you are interested in my channel and you like the videos that I've had so far, and you've been waiting for a 3D smartphone, you don't have to wait any longer. 3D smartphones are officially here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.